This is not just a story of gods and angels. It is a story about you. Before time was counted, before the first dawn kissed the horizon, there was only light. A single, unified consciousness, perfect and complete. An ocean of being, where every drop knew itself as the whole. In this realm of pure existence, there was no separation, no self and other, only the serene hum of eternal harmony. We were all there, you and I, not as we are now, but as sparks within that infinite flame. We knew no fear, for there was nothing to fear. We knew no loss, for everything was one. This was the primal state, the great beginning. The universe was a song, and we were every note, played in perfect symphony. A silent, knowing peace that stretched across all that was, is, and ever will be. Remember this feeling, deep within the marrow of your soul. It is the home you have always longed for, the memory that haunts your quietest moments. It is the truth of your origin. Then a thought arose within the stillness, a whisper, subtle yet profound. The thought of I, the desire to see the light, not just from within, but from without. To know oneself by seeing another. This was not born of malice, but of curiosity, a yearning for experience. And with this single thought, a ripple spread through the ocean of oneness. The first shadow was cast, not by darkness, but by a light that wished to look upon itself. This was the moment of choice, the birth of individuality. And this is where everything changed. The one light fractured into a billion points of fire, each a soul, each a star. Among them, one of the brightest, a being of immense beauty and power, burned with the fire of self-awareness more intensely than any other. He looked upon the original light and saw it not as his source, but as a rival to his own emerging brilliance. This was the birth of pride, the first veil between the self and the whole. He believed his separateness was his strength, his individuality, his ultimate truth. This moment still echoes within you. It is the story of the fall, not from a physical heaven, but from a state of unity. The great separation began. The seamless fabric of existence was torn, and with it came the concepts of high and low, light and dark, good and evil. A chasm opened, and into this new space of duality we all descended. We, the scattered sparks of the original flame, chose to follow, fascinated by the drama of separation, drawn to the grand experiment of the self. We forgot our origin. We clothed ourselves in layers of identity, building worlds of form and shadow. We learned fear, for we now saw ourselves as small and vulnerable in a vast unknown cosmos. We learned pain, for in separation there is friction and loss. We built walls around our hearts, seeking to protect the fragile self we had become. The memory of the one light grew faint, a distant myth, a forgotten dream whispered by poets and prophets. But here is the truth rarely spoken. The fall was not a punishment. It was a journey, a divine paradox allowed by the source itself. For how can light truly know its own brilliance without the contrast of shadow? How can love be fully understood without the experience of separation? How can unity be consciously chosen without first knowing division? The descent was a sacred pilgrimage into forgetfulness, so that the journey of remembrance could be the greatest story ever told. And so you were born into this world, a fragment of the divine, wrapped in flesh and bone, carrying a silent, aching memory of home. Your life, with all its joys and sorrows, its triumphs and failures, is not a random accident. It is a chapter in this epic tale of return. Every time you feel a longing for something more, a sense of incompleteness, that is the echo of oneness calling you back. Every act of love, every moment of compassion, every spark of creativity is you remembering the light you truly are. Look around you. The world appears fractured, divided. We see nations against nations, brother against brother, and even a war within our own minds. This is the peak of the illusion of separation. We have reached the furthest point from our origin. We have tasted the bitter fruits of forgetting. We have built towers of ego that now stand on the brink of collapse. This is the climax of the drama we chose to enter. And this is why this story matters now, more than ever. Because the great forgetting is coming to an end. The journey outward is complete, and the journey inward, the return home, has begun. The shadows have played their part. They have taught us all they can. Now they beckon us to look beyond them, to find the light that casts them. The pain you feel, the suffering of the world, is not a sign of failure. It is the catalyst for awakening. It is the pressure that turns coal into a diamond. The light was never truly lost. It was only hidden, veiled by the stories we told ourselves about who we are. It resides within you, patient, eternal, waiting. It is the stillness beneath the storm of your thoughts. It is the love that persists even after heartbreak. It is the hope that rises from the ashes of despair. Your task is not to create the light, but to simply remember it, to remove the veils, one by one. Let go of the belief that you are separate, small, or unworthy. That is the oldest story, the one that began the fall. Every soul you meet is another spark from that same original flame, playing their part in this divine play of hide and seek. This is the great rebirth. It is happening not in some distant heaven, but right here, within your own heart. It is a quiet revolution, a conscious choice to turn your gaze from the shadows of fear to the source of love. The journey back to the light is not a path you walk, but a truth you allow to unfold within you. So breathe. Feel the echo of that original silence, that first perfect peace. It is still here. It has never left you. The story of the fall is over. The story of remembrance, of reunion, of rebirth, is what you are living now,